How many of you get stressed out over flying?
Whoa.
Maybe it's the security you have to go through, or maybe it's the thought of sitting next to a guy with short pants and hairy legs. It's understandable to get stressed out over flying. Our bodies were not designed to be hurtled through the air at 500 miles an hour, 30,000 feet up in the air. However, today I'm going to give you some tips to help you reduce the stress when you air travel. And I'm not going to ask you to use any drugs. Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmaster, and welcome guests. In the 30 years I worked for IBM, I have been on numerous business trips. All of my business trips were a combination of adventure and stress. I have flown to New Zealand, to Sweden, to Uruguay. I have even been on a business trip to San Antonio. Every one of my trips is a combination of adventure and stress. I have flown in business class. I have flown in economy. I have slept in some of the finest hotels, and I have slept in some of the biggest airports. Air travel should be an adventure. It shouldn't be stressful. I'm going to give you 4 tips on how to reduce your stress when you travel, air travel. First tip. I'm sure you've heard it before, but it's worth repeating. Arrive early. Now, Rich, what do you mean by arrive early? Well, when I go into the terminal, if I hear a PA announcement, last call for Rich Bassner, flight 611, I know I am not early. Arriving early can greatly reduce your stress. It is very stressful to be standing on line in security, emptying your pockets, taking your laptop out of the bag while your plane is boarding. I get very stressed out when I'm on that line. I have to take off my shoes, take off my belt, take off my coat. Now, I don't know about you folks, but I get very stressed out anytime I have to strip in public. About the only thing that's more stressful is after I get to security, I'm hustling down to the gate and I hear another PA announcement. Rich Bassner, please return to security check-in. We have your boarding pass. And your pants. When I grew up in the Northeast, remember those little clips that you would have on your coat so you wouldn't lose your mittens? Well, I found that it was also very handy so I didn't lose my boarding pass. Matter of fact, this technique works so well that I use it so I don't forget my pants. Okay, so you arrive early and you're at your gate early. This is not a problem. And this takes me to my second tip to help reduce stress. Find yourself a comfortable chair and do some people watching. Airports are great places to watch people. And it's relaxing. However, it is very important to watch the right people. You want to watch people that are walking through the terminal. You do not want to watch the ground crew servicing the aircraft. Watching them stand out there pointing at the landing gear, shaking their head, will not reduce your stress. Now, while you're watching people, here's a game you can play. Observe the way the people are behaving and try and guess what their occupation is. There's a young lady there, very attractive, leaning against the wall. Tight, low-cut sweater, short skirt, stiletto heels, a lot of makeup, heavy on the lipstick. I think she's in sales. There's a young man with a mohawk, a tall, pink mohawk. Lots of body piercings, tattoos, looks like my bathroom wall. I think he's in pharmaceuticals. And then we've got the man in the blue suit sitting at the bar, pounding down one beer after another. He's a pilot. fly a whole lot faster. Now hopefully, a lot of you don't have a problem sleeping on the plane. But if you do, here's my suggestion. When you get on the plane, get one of those nice, soft, furry blankets. Get in your seat, cover yourself up, and hold it underneath there. Close your eyes and go to your pleasant place. Maybe it's laying on a beach in the sun. Maybe it's curled up in front of a fire at a ski lodge. And if that doesn't work, imagine you're sitting there in your dentist chair. You'll be grateful you're on the plane. Now, I have to tell you though, if you're going to sleep on the plane, it is very important to wait until the plane is in the air before you go to sleep. One time I went on a trip. I was so exhausted. I got on the plane, sat down, I fell asleep before the plane even backed away from the gate. I was sound asleep. We were still in the tarmac when I was awoken by a pilot's announcement. Ladies and gentlemen, you may have noticed I've shut off the engine. Folks, that is not the way you want to be awoken when you're sleeping on a plane. And while I'm talking about announcements, let me give you your fourth tip for reducing stress while traveling in the air. Get yourself a pair of those noise-canceling headphones. This way you don't have to listen to that annoying kid in the back behind you, and you don't have to listen to any more of those pilot announcements. They can be stressful sometimes. I bet you've heard this one. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the captain speaking from the flight deck. We've reached our cruising altitude of 30,000 feet, and it looks like we'll have a smooth ride, so... Traveling by air should be an adventure. It shouldn't be stressful. You can reduce your stress if you remember to arrive early, if you go ahead and relax by doing some people watching, if you sleep on the plane, and you get yourself a pair of noise-canceling headphones. And oh, by the way, if you get noise-canceling headphones, don't put them on until you're on the plane, just in case there's an announcement for you to return to security to get your boarding pass.